So wives, you can't make the point the way God can. You can say the word, you can say what needs to be said, but don't do it in a way where you think the only way it's going to get done is if you force it. No, don't do that. You'll lose your entire marriage that way. And especially if this is your second or third marriage, you probably learned that already. Okay, so no, Sarah said what needs to happen. Abraham, because that's still his son. Because he didn't say put them out. She was saying put them out and have no cut the relationship. Sarah has no connection to Hagar or Ishmael. Abraham, that's his everything. Okay, relatively speaking. Now here's the thing. The reason why Hagar has to go, as Sarah said it, he shall not be an heir to my son. It's because if the second wife is around, whoever she is, whoever it is, whatever the second wife represents, the more you stay, the more you're going to play. I'll say that again. The more you stay, the more you're going to play. Let it go. Let it go. This affected Abraham. That's why God said in verse 12, let it not be grievous in thy sight because of the lad, because of thy bondwoman. So the connection to the child first, then Hagar the woman. And all that Sarah has said unto thee, hearken unto her voice. For in Isaac shall thou seed be called. Amen. Amen. That word is just as much for the wives as it is for the husbands. You're blessed to deal with a mess. You're not just blessed to just go on and enjoy life and not deal with any adversity. No, you're blessed to deal with all that stuff you came out of that needs to be dealt with. Okay? That needs to happen. Okay? In verse 13, it says, also of thy son of the bondwoman, I will make a nation, because he is thy seed. So, you won't forget him, but neither will I. Amen. Amen. Don't worry about his welfare. He's my son. Amen. So Abraham knows what this means. It means separation on every level. And Abraham rose up early in the morning and took bread and a bottle of water and gave it unto Hagar, putting it on her shoulder. He put it on her shoulder. He didn't just hand it to her. He put it on her shoulder. Because this was killing Abraham more than anybody is letting you know. This is killing Abraham more than anybody is letting him know. Letting you know. He put it on her shoulder and the child and sent her away. And she departed and wandered into the wilderness of Beersheba. Verse 15, and the water was spent in the bottle, and she cast the child under one of the shrubs. So he's 17. So in verse 14, part of that is part of the ritual of where the father will let the eldest son, he will provide provisions. But this is what they do in the East to let the son become a man. It's like, look, I'm going to give you just enough food, water, provisions, victuals. Okay, fine. But you got to let me see what you can do. Okay? Which one? We don't have that in a general sense in Western culture. No, I don't get me started on this. To have 30 and 40-year-old sons and daughters still living in your home, I get it. If it was a family crisis, somebody got sick, someone got a divorce, they need to recover. I understand recovery. But when they just living there and they 37 and they roaming around the home as if they were 7, no, I got a problem with that. If your child is not going to college, either they paying some of the bills around the house or they gotta go. Okay? No, don't talk to me about being blessed when no, well it's hard out there. Oh my, don't even start that nonsense with me. Don't even start that nonsense with me. Because notice how God is a better parent than you are. The Lord has shielded you from a lot. But he didn't shield you from everything. Because the adversity that you survived, and you survived a lot, take a moment. The adversity that you survived is what helped make you who you are today. Okay? Now, since you want to be adverse to that and shield your child from almost everything out there, it's like, no. You're not even giving them a chance to be half as good as you are. Okay? So no. So someone had an interesting post on IG earlier today. He said children from the 90s, they rolled they had a picture of a dog, a huge dog that had like an 8-pack of abs. They rolled their bike, the chain on the bike broke, they fixed that, whatever. They played ball, they did all this other stuff. They found the hose, they washed their bike off, and then drank from the hose and all this other stuff. Blah 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 blah. And that represented kids from the 90s. Kids today, the caption said, what was a dog that didn't have abs. It was, the dog was a little obese. And the caption under that simply said, my tablet, my iPad ran out of batteries. Now I'm depressed. Yeah. We're holding our children back because we're doing everything for them. We're shielding them from everything. You're sabotaging your own child. You are. You're sabotaging your own child. No, come on, y'all. Let us figure that out. Okay. So the water was spent in verse 15, and she cast the child under the shrub. So it says she cast the child, but he's 17. So what was happening was, she as the mother received a revelation. I don't think we're gonna make it. We're not going to make it. So I'll just set him under the shrub for him to die quietly. And I'll go around the bush and just go somewhere because we're both getting ready to die. Verse 16. And she went and sat down over against him a good way off, as it was a bow shot. And for she said, let him not see the death of the child. And she sat over against him and lifted up her voice and wept. And God heard the voice of the lad. And the angel of God called to Hagar out of heaven and said unto her, what aileth thee, Hagar? Fear not, for God has heard the voice of the lad where he is. Because the promise is with the son. That's why the verse 17 says he heard the voice of the lad. Because, watch this. Because he heard the voice of the lad, he heard Abraham. He heard Abraham. That's why God hearkened. And hearkened so quickly. Because he heard the voice of Abraham. When your child prays, God hears his father. I don't care if the father is saved or not. See, we serve a generational God. I know we like to just keep ourselves in prayer and people who we like in prayer and my mama because she does everything for me or whatever. No. God operates a little differently. So the lad cried. That means Abraham cried. Amen. That's why God hearkened so quickly. And the angel of the Lord came and just gave her a new perspective. How do you know? In verse 18. That's how I know. Arise, lift up the lad. Hold him in thine hand, for I will make him a great nation. And God opened her eyes, and she saw a well of water. And she went and filled the bottle with water and gave the lad drink. Hold him up. Don't let your child die. Things didn't work out. The plan y'all had working out, that didn't work out. Don't let him die. No. Hold him up. Hold him up just enough for the Lord to revive him. Amen. You're blessed to deal with a man. This is what prosperity is. How to deal with adversity and to bounce back greater. Amen. He dwelled in the wilderness of Paran, and his mother took him a wife out of the land of Egypt. So since they have no more connection to Abraham, now the deeds fall unto the mother to choose his wife. Okay? And it came to pass at that time that Abimelech and Philco, the chief captain of his host, spake unto Abraham, saying, God is with thee. Amen. Now we are getting... Abraham is so blessed that he has a mess to deal with now. After dealing with the separation of his firstborn, he has to deal with the business side of things. Saying, God is with thee in all that thou doest. So, this is what you have to deal with when you're blessed. Be prepared to be called in by Congress. I'll tell you what I mean by that. Because people are going to see how blessed you are, and they're going to get quite envious. In particular, the state that you live in. Wherever you live, I don't know if you're in America or not, whatever state or province you're in, they're going to want to cut. Yes. They are going to want to cut. You have to go into some kind of league with them for there to remain peace. Okay, here we are. In verse 23, now therefore swear unto me here by God that thou wilt not deal falsely with me, nor with my son, nor with thy son's son, but according to the kindness that I have done unto thee, thou shalt do unto me in the land wherein thou hast sojourned. And Abraham said, I will swear.